Perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Claudia, for having us today. So today, thank you so much. And all, as Claudia said in the beginning, our thoughts go out to all of the people in Iberia that's been impacted by the electricity outage. I think this will be a day that all of us in Europe will remember. And it's from Sweden sending all of our empathy. And if there's anything we can help you out with, just let us know, essentially. But for now on, we're going to focus on the compliance in the life science sector. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of introduction, talking about the AI in compliance in general. And then we're going to do a case study from one of Minosia's customer, go a little bit into the platform itself, and then end with a Q&A itself. So just to set the stage a little bit on sort of where we are right now, we see that the AI tools are just essentially taking over and coming into more and more places in our life. With ChatGPT just releasing a little less than 2 years ago, we see right now that from labs to living rooms, AI is really going mainstream. And also the model just keeps getting smarter. So I thought this was a really interesting example. So a little less than 1 year ago, a study was done on IQ test results, where they put in all of the best current AI models at that time to give them a standard Mensa test. So an IQ test averaging below actually the average IQ of 100 humans. And now, in less than 1 year, we see that the AI is progressing at a much faster speed than we perhaps initially thought. So we see that a lot of the models out there are actually outperforming the average human on this sort of standard IQ test. Although IQ test is not everything about intelligence, but just shows the speed of development that we see with AI today. And going into sort of the use case as well, we see that a lot of companies are adopting AI tools, with 85% of small businesses already integrated AI tools to automate tasks and boost productivity, which help them with their competitiveness. And we're also seeing this growing in the medtech industry as well. So we see all the way from post-market surveillance, we see AI-driven QMS, clinical valuation, regulatory intelligence, labeling and IFU, and things like MLR. And also, of course, Minosia plays a part in this. We're able to automate many of these things that you see on the screen. So to set the stage, we're going to start talking about sort of the compliance piece. Potentially one of the most sort of monotonous tasks that you can do, but then also one of the most important business critical tasks for every company. So the current way how we see it is quite manual and very data intense. Having humans being checked over thousands of documents, going back and forth and trying to make sense of all of it. And while just one human can look at one document at a time, we see there's another way with AI, where the AI can continuously look at all the documents at once, ensuring compliancy across not only one product, one market, but across all the products, all markets, and all companies. So we see that this is reducing risk and saving precious time to focus on more important tasks. So I'd like you to introduce it to Minosia, where we turn compliance into competitive advantage for the life science industry. So just want to set the stage that today life science companies pre-revenue spend 5 times more on compliance than product development. And although compliance is critical, we think that it diverts much energy away from innovation and core business goals to actually develop innovative products, something that we want to tackle. And just to set some numbers. So imagine you're submitting a document, you're confident that you're compliant, only to find critical issues flagged by the notified body last minute. And we see some of these numbers in a lot of the companies that we meet. We see sort of on average pre-market, companies spend 25 million on compliance. We see 5 years lengthy approvals, and of course also updates each day with 30 regulations that are being changed on average. So how can Minosia help with all of this? So we are simplifying compliance for life science companies by reducing risk and, of course, cutting costs to improve efficiency. So we're going to go through a little bit today how we're able to help with that. So first of all, just to set the stage how all of this works. So sort of this is how we see the wheel of companies operating. So you have regulatory intelligence, build out your QMS, and of course, stay compliant as you scale. And a little bit how we can support you in all of this. So first of all, we have the regulatory intelligence to know which rules to apply. And here we have either sort of the company does or work with one of the great consultancies like InnHealthium that is being supported right now with understanding what rules to actually apply as you enter the market. Secondly is to build your QMS accordingly. This is something that Minosia can help out with. We're able to understand the regulations that apply to you and sort of whatever the gaps are in your current documentation. And of course, you want to grow. So staying compliant as you scale, where we are continuously gap checking when rules change or when you add new products or enter new markets. We, together with the company, is able to assist you in all of this, essentially. And of course, the question that we get a lot is how secure is all of this? So we build it securely by design and building on strict cybersecurity standards. So also no training data is being used to ensure complete privacy. And the data is stored, encrypted, and processed here in the EU. Not even the Minosia team can access the information that you upload to the platform. And we are building it on GDPR compliant ISO 27001 and SOC certified solutions to ensure the latest cybersecurity. So we're going to go through a little bit the different parts of the platform and how it's able to be leveraged. So the first use case of the platform is the regulatory scan. This is the base model that a lot of our companies and customers use. So here we're able to upload your entire QMS and able to scan it and find any type of regulatory gaps. So here we cover standards such as the ISO 270 or 13485, the MDR, the risk, and post-market. And the outcome of this is detailed actionable reports with clear next steps on how to tackle these gaps. So not only finding them, but also see how you can get forward. And here we can see companies cut weeks of prepping time in front of internal audits or visit by notified bodies. But it's not only important to see where the problems are, we also want to be able to fix those problems quickly. So here we're able to scale without any last minute audit drama. So whenever the AI has found something, it can also generate auto solutions or auto suggestions on how the documentation can be better. So it's not only enough to see what's wrong. Now we're also able to give recommendations on what to change, where we can close compliance gaps with just one click. And thirdly, we're also able to check labeling and IFU to identify errors through vision. So we're not able to check documents. We can also check some more advanced files such as labeling and IFU to ensure compliance across global regulations quickly and automatic. And what's nice with this is that we support all major languages. And we've been working with clients here in China. So we're able to leverage the global support of the AI models, where we can identify errors with just one click. And fourthly, we would like to introduce also to one of the models that is coming quite soon, which is our AR literature evaluation. We're able to scan the relevant databases with just one click. So here you can scan thousands of documents instead of just one to search across all databases at once, such as PubMed, Google Scholar, Trial.gov, PNC, and many more. Here we're able to leverage the AI to do extractions such as key findings, populations, devices, and manufacturers, helping you become compliant with the rules as post-market surveillance and, for instance, clinical evaluation, saving time, finding the right studies. Continuing, we see that and the companies that have been powered today. So you're not only alone if you were to join us. We support over 10 companies in over 5 countries to show that sort of this is something that is growing and a lot of companies want to see. And who is better to tell you more about the solution? So not us. So we actually have a case study with one of our clients called Koala Solution, which is a heart monitoring medtech company utilizing Minosia to create and ensure that their QMS is compliant. And with that, we're going to have a speaker. So Johanna Schrafer, she's the quality director, is going to tell us a little bit more how they're leveraging Minosia to not only sort of be compliant with today, but also as they grow. And sadly, she's joining from America and it's a little bit early for her. So we prepared already pre-recorded video for her to tell you a little bit more how they leverage the platform. So just give me a second for me to bring that up. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, now I'm ready. telling us a little bit about you and the company that you work with.
Thanks, Esco. I'd love to. I work for Koala Solutions. I'm the quality director, and Koala Solutions is a medical device company in the heart monitoring space. We purchased a device from a company that went bankrupt. We purchased not only the device and its intellectual property, but also, among other things, the quality management system of this legacy company. And in our company, Koala Solutions, we want to revise that legacy QMS so that it fits our way of working, and so that it aligns with our own procedures. And so when it came to our business case, we had a functioning QMS, but that had passed audits already, but we did not feel comfortable simply adopting that one to our business. We wanted to make sure to update it to really fit our individual needs. And where we found the Minosia tool to be so helpful was in that regression. When we updated a document, for example, we were able to quickly assess, does it still pass those tests that it was passing before? Does it still meet the standards that it was meeting before? And happily, we were able to actually improve on the QMS that we'd inherited. Minosia told us that, if, for example, some procedures were failing a few criteria, and we were able to fix that and update them. In addition to, as I said before, making the QMS ours to fit our company, to fit our way of working, and we were able to simplify some things as well, while still making sure we were in compliance. And that's where Minosia helped us to save a lot of time, as well as to build our confidence that our revisions were appropriate. Here's what a day in the life of my use of Minosia looks like. And I'm going to start in the document section here. This root folder contains the legacy QMS that we've inherited. And for many of these documents are also reflective of the latest version. That's our version, Koala Solutions version. Here is an area in the management section of the QMS where I actually chose to combine these two procedures, the 1.1 and 1.2. We had one for management control and one for management review. I felt that it made most sense to combine those into one single procedure. And you can see that when I open up this procedure, that I've actually uploaded 4 versions so far. Version 1 was the inherited version, and you can see, if I go back to that the software gave this a non-compliant and 5 controls, a partial with 3 controls. And I said, well, I bet we can improve on that. And after a couple of revisions, I was able to be compliant with a fair number, but I was still non-compliant with 1 control. And again, I said, oh, I know I can do better than that. Let me upload a new version that will show that I am compliant. So now let's go ahead and upload my latest version, which I sincerely hope will show that I'm compliant with all of the tests, not just 78. I hope that 79 tests will be compliant. And so here's where I can upload a new version. I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to go to lex.file. Here is my latest version. And again, you see it's management control and review. I've combined both of those topics. Once I upload the document, there is a little bit of time for the software to run the tests that are required. And I like to check the content section to make sure that it is continuing to use the 4 categories of tests that I have applied to, or excuse me, the 4 groups of controls that I have been working with when it comes to this document. You could see that in version 4, I was out of compliance with one. And in my latest version, now that I've made sure I've got my contents, my tests correct, that I am compliant with all of the tests. What a relief. And to see how quickly that works. Certainly, I read the legislation and I read the ISO standard. Those are you got to do that. I think you can't skip being familiar with those pieces of literature. However, when it comes to quickly making sure that my revision passes regression and ideally has improved upon what I inherited, what I had previously, the Minosia tool helps to save me time and give me confidence that I'm on the right track. And for that reason, I really come to rely on and be grateful for this tool as I'm working to take the legacy QMS and make it something that belongs to us and is useful and relevant to us.
Nice. And you mentioned it a little bit in the beginning. You had some sort of ask how to what you wanted to add, or sort of where do you want to see the future of this platform going?
Oh my goodness. Well, uh, first of all, I would like to thank the Minosia team because you have already been very responsive to a few of the requests that I've made as a user. Just the ability to work more with versions like what we see here has been very, very helpful, and that was something that I believe you guys put into the next sprint and, release that. Not to set expectations for others that all requests would be handled so swiftly, not at all, but I did feel, and still feel as a user, that you take my requests very, very seriously. Also, as I talked about with the frameworks, I'm very, very excited for my specific frameworks, not my specific ones, but the ones that specifically I will use, which are FDA CFR 820 and 27 ISO 27001. Excited for those to come out. I'd really love to see where you guys go with the frameworks. I think the possibilities can really be endless, and it would seem that anybody who works in compliance, as long as the frameworks that they need are there, would be able to benefit from the tool. So for your guys' sake, for your company's sake, I would think that expanding those frameworks would add a lot of value.
I think, yeah, super super nice to be talking with you and hearing a little bit more how you work with the platform. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing to all the people. Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you, Eskil, and your team for developing such a helpful product. And I'm so excited to see where you guys take this into the future. Thank you for allowing me to be part of the use of it at the early stages.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you so much, and take care. Hey, that was Joe from Koala Solutions, showcasing how she's leveraging the platform to ensure that her QMS is up to standard and actually able to go to the market. So we also want to do a little bit more of deep dive, not only showing sort of how the customer is using it, but also the other parts of the platform that you are able to leverage and actually make your QMS better and more resilient to change, essentially. So if you allow me to share again, I'm going to showcase a little bit of the new things that we actually put into the platform. So I'm going to go into this one. So I'd like to introduce you to the Minosia platform. So as you can see here is the initial frameworks that this company has activated. So many of the most standard software frameworks for the QMS. And essentially how the platform works, these frameworks are sort of testing packages in which we are able to apply across the company's all information, ensuring that you're compliant and also how to fix it. So I'm going to show you in this quick demo a little bit how, if you were to join us as a customer, how you can leverage the tool. So in this case, I'm going to create a new demo. Logged out. To showcase how you're able to upload one of your documents. So let me first create a new QMS here. And in this scenario, let's say you are uploading your entire QMS, already have prepared some documents in this for you to see. But in the future, if you were to upload your own, this is just 5 documents, but this will also work the same way if you're uploading your entire QMS, essentially. So what the AI does essentially now, it is trying to understand first what type of content it is. So in this case, it understands it is a quality manual. And for instance, it sees that the internal audit is an internal audit. So just trying to understand essentially what those are before it's starting to apply and run those different types of tests. So if we were to essentially go into one of them, we could see that the tests are able to run, and we can see that the results are already starting to get in. So I think it would be interesting to go into one of them and see whatever we can do with this information. So we go into this one. This is a organizational function. So we see that the AI has tagged this with competent personnel and responsibility of authorities. So I think maybe, let's see, this one is a little bit better document. So the on the right side here, I'd like you to showcase that the different standards being applied across these documents. So we had ISO 3485 and the MDR. And based on these different types of frameworks, we are applying different types of tests to this document, ensuring that it is compliant to those regulations based on the type of content contained in the document. So if we were to check on one of them, we can actually see whatever problems the AI has identified. So in this case, we can perhaps see that the external document identification has been identified as an error. And we always showcase where in the standard we are taking the information from, ensuring that we are compliant with the EU AI Act. So in this case, it is coming from ISO 13485, and we have the reference exactly where in the ISO the AI has taken the information from. Then we're able to showcase where in the what the AI has tested. So in this test, it is regarding some documents with external origin. And then finally, we give different types of recommendations of what the AI to do. And we also give evidence. So in this case, we try to show where the AI has found this information. And in this case, it doesn't find anything. But if we were to go into something where it has found something, we usually can see, let's see, maybe this one, where in the text the AI has found this information, ensuring that it's easy to track and how the AI chain of thought has gone. But it's not only enough to do sort of just finding the error. We also want to be able to generate a new version of this document. So if I were to generate a new compliant document of this, first of all, we can always give more additional context. This will be sort of more on the device or something that the AI has missed, essentially. And for this version, we're using actually one of the better AI models out there. So it usually maybe takes a minute for it to generate. But essentially what we are doing is that we're taking the original version, so whatever the user has uploaded, and then we are taking all of the different tests that the AI has uploaded. So in this case, it is looking at these 4 non-compliance and these 3 partial. So taking all of those into the engine, and the AI is currently now thinking of how in the best way are I'm able to put all of this together to generate a new version of the document. And just to also highlight the previous version or the previous feature that Joe mentioned, we also have the ability to work with versions as well. So, the AI was already finished, so we can go into this one. So first of all, we have a new document. So this is what the AI has generated. We can also see where the AI has made any changes. And then finally, we can see them side by side. So actually see in what areas the AI has added this information. You can see here, these are some paragraphs that AI thinks could actually be quite good to add in the documentation, and some things that potentially we would need to remove. So this is a great way to work, get a first draft of how to improve the document, and also making it a little bit better in that sense. So I think it's very interesting to see how we can leverage and work with your documentation and see how we can make it more compliant. We also have a view just to show it quickly, where we're able to leverage and show sort of a more overall view. This is now a demo company, but as you can see, this is where you would track and be able to follow up where your company is at today. And it's a great way to see sort of where you can focus on and make new changes. So you can see here, most of the things the company has already implemented, but they already have some missing documents. So these are some areas that you would need to add different type of document in to actually ensure compliance to the standard. Great. So that was just sort of the main platform that we want to showcase. But we also have another version, which we are currently working on, which is the more checking of the visuals as well. So in the main platform, we're able to do checking regulations. We're able to check different types of, let's say, QMS documents or different types of technical files. We're able to have an overview of the content itself. We can even check the different sort of exportable text as well, if you prefer to work in, let's say, an Excel format. But let's say you are a company that are using a lot of labeling and let's say IFU, we also have a tool for that. So this is a new version that we're also launching, which is sort of working with the labeling and the IFU. So here as I mentioned in the presentation, we are able to put in a lot of information about their product and able to see what kind of standards do we need to apply to the different types of labels, to ensuring if you have a lot of different type of product across markets, maybe got different languages and all of that. So I'd like to showcase a little bit how that will work as well. So first of all, we usually start off with setting up our rule set, which is something that I already done. But in this case, we can start a new test. So in this case, let's say we do a new demo here, and then we select the preset. So basically whatever different types of tests that you like to apply. And then finally, we can add our images to layers. So these are sort of your different layers of your medical device or the check that you want to do. So in this case, I generated 2 examples with ChatGPT just to see a little bit how it might work. So if we are pressing run test here, we will be able to see whatever the AI has come up with across that labeling checklist. So as also mentioned, we support all languages in this. This will only be a English example, but as we see, it will also be able to process across a lot more. So as the AI is thinking now, it's actually going through the different areas of it and checking sort of all of the things that it will work. So here we have with Sally, you weren't able to see it, but here we have the finish that finished here today. So now we're able to view it and see the results which came out of it. So in this case, we have 2 AI generated labels. So they will probably not be too good, but we can see a little bit what the AI has been able to find. So for instance, here we're missing the UDI, we're missing the sterile, we're missing different types of indication of single use. And as you can see, these can just be applied across more layers. We're able to support more languages as well, just for you to automate many of these sort of more boring, mundane tasks in which you're able to do. So yes, I think that will sort of a quick overview of the platform itself. As we said, we are sort of also continuously developing it. So all of the things that you see here are very closely developed with the companies that we are supporting. So we're very interesting to hear about the company that are here today, about your challenges, and see if there are any ways we can support you with these tools or tailor it towards your solution.